5-1 to 5-4, but somehow the Blues have got it over the line. They've beaten Fulham on a night I don't think anyone will ever forget. The final score, Fulham 4, City 5. Wow.
This Sunday, taking on Crystal Palace in a 4:30.
Well, let's go back to the studio. I can't believe nobody in the studio got that prediction right. What's going on, guys?
Welcome back to Match Day Live. I don't know what just happened, but I know City got 3 points by the skin of their teeth at the end of that game. I'm still in the studio with Andy Morrison and with Kit Symons. I'm finding it hard to talk and process right now. I'm going to throw to Andy Morrison, who seems a lot more composed than I am. Andy, what have we just watched?
I don't know, Natalie, because we got the sun loungers out and the cocktails were out at 5-1. And it seemed like the perfect evening. We can enjoy this for the rest of the half. And then it turned around, and there's a lot of things that happened within that period. I don't think you'll ever see a game where 3 crosses into the box have had ricochets that have landed perfectly for the opponent who's arriving. And on the 3 occasions they got the shots off, they scored on 3 times. And that brings it back to 5-4. But when you see it again, there's one that hits the back of Bernardo's ankle, then hits Nico, and then goes straight into the path of Iwobi, who bends it into the top corner. And then there's a punch that comes from Donnarumma, and then arrives on the box. Arrives on the edge of the box, and it just seemed to be like that. And the other goal was the same. So it won't happen again. We've got over the line. We've won 5-4, and everybody goes home happy.
Honestly, Andy, I just feel like I need to have a little cry just to relieve this built up stress of that last half an hour. Kit, how would you analyse that game?
Well, I thought my prediction was a nervy 2-1. Now, the 2-1 was way off, but the nervy was pretty good. It's like, as Andy saying at 5-1, absolutely cruising. Once you're 5-1 up, you've got to see games that are more comfortable than that. You can't allow this sort of thing to happen. It's just an incredible game of football. So anyone there tonight has certainly had their money's worth, that's for sure.
I'm with
Norway flag.
I'm with it. Norway 5-4, Natalie, and you go away with a victory, and the victory that we had at the weekend, it gives the manager such ammunition to challenge the players going forward on so many things that they can break down on the goals and how we conceded and how we can make sure that doesn't happen again. They can be invaluable when you get the result and there's been so many things that are not right, going forward. And I think it's a great opportunity tonight to show, especially on our corners, the edge of the box has got to be a little bit more protected. Normally, I think the percentages, I've got some stat, it's around 2% chance of scoring from the edge of the box if everybody's in the box, because there's blocks, whether it's your own team or the opponent. But tonight, everything they let go just seemed to fly into the corner. So statistically, I don't think that happens again, and it's one of them one-off games. And at the end, you're thinking a possible penalty. You're thinking, are they going to get another shot off, cleared off the line? Brilliant entertainment for the neutral, Natalie, but not for you.
I am not neutral, Andy.
It's just crazy second half. Fulham started the second half really bright.
Yeah.
They started the second half really, really bright. They made positive changes and sort of gone for it. Took off a defensive midfield player and gone much more positive with their formation.
Yep.
But then suddenly, City take this great lead. You think it's got to be comfortable, but they were really positive, Fulham, and they just kept going. And
at 5-2, Haaland hits the post.
Yeah,
to make it 6-2. So it's just the most surreal game.
That's the thing. He's hit the post. Well, first half and second half.
Yeah,
Haaland. So it could have been a lot more goals.
Yeah,
but incredible game of football.
Yeah,
an incredible.
Now it's done.
Yeah. I think maybe I'll think that in half an hour or so, Kit. When my stress
19
levels...
victories on the spin now against Fulham.
That is 19 victories. Thanks, Andy. And if you look at that table now, it looks a lot nicer than it did do a good few weeks ago now. Just 2 points off Arsenal. Of course, they play Brentford tomorrow night. But we are sitting there in second. Plus 18 goal difference, although it was equalling and bettering Arsenal's at one point in that game. Chelsea there, 4 points behind us. They play tomorrow night as well. And of course, don't forget Arsenal play Aston Villa on Saturday when we have Sunderland. So that is going to be a big weekend of football there. But as it stands, we were hoping, what I wanted by the end of the day was for City to be 2 points behind Arsenal. And we got that. we just had 9 goals.
Never in doubt.
In
Never
between.
In doubt.
Well, I was not expecting that. I started to, well, I always do. I always write the notes down on the goals as we're going along so that we can talk about them. But honestly, there's been so many. I hope that I've got all my notes right. So let's try and remember the second half. Let's try and remember. So we were 3-1 up at half-time, if you remember that glorious smile I had at half-time. And then that smile got even wider at the start of the second half. I went through there to make a cup of tea. And while I was making a cup of tea, it became 4-1. So let me refresh myself. It was a breakaway for Manchester City, and Erling Haaland shifts it across for Phil Foden to run onto. Can you remember this goal?
Yeah, the ball was played in for Haaland, and it was just behind him. It clipped off his heel.
That was the one.
Which put it directly in the path of Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Great finish, man.
So an element of luck there. We talked about Fulham's, bit of good fortune when we see their goals back, but Doku's tried to put Haaland in. Haaland got ahead of the ball, and as his stride pattern was going, it hit the back of his heel, which took the sting out of it, and then Foden's just come onto it perfectly. And it was a great finish with his right foot. So a touch fortuitous, but a great finish from Foden.
And it was an assist for Erling Haaland, by the way, for those FPL players that are wondering. He did get the assist points because I have checked. But it was a great finish by Phil Foden because the angle was so tight. And he did well because the keeper was going in as well. So it was a really good finish from Phil Foden. So that was 4-1. Then City made it 5-1, and Andy cracked open the cocktails and the sun loungers as he was describing. So it was a little bit careless.
Kit had a pair of sunglasses on. I'm telling you, he was just give us a shout for 2 minutes to go.
Right, here, please, come on.
Right, we'll pause it there. We're going to come back and talk to you about 5-1 in just a minute. But we're going to go over now back to Craven Cottage. Oh my God, FG, you've seen me in a game of football. I was an absolute nightmare. I think that's the first time Andy's seen me that bad in a while. FG, Michael Brown, how were the stress levels at the end?
Well, to be honest, I saw that you were trying to explain all the goal scorers. I can't remember them either.
Good luck with that.
We just looked at each other and we just laughed because that was one of those games that we'll remember for a very, very long time. Potentially not for all the best reasons. We were 5-2 up. I looked at my dad in the away end and I said, "It's done, mate. It's all right. We're done."
I said it comes at 5-1, 4-1. It's done. Natalie, I can only imagine what you were like in that studio. I hope there's a little bit of content, a bit of video to see.
Brownie,
was it that bad? Were you struggling?
I'm struggling so badly, Brownie. Honestly, I hope no one was filming that because I said some really bad words at some points as well. So.
Brownie, we tried to get some medication. It was that frantic. We were trying to get medication to calm Natalie down.
I'm glad FG, I am glad I was not there. How did you cope, FG?
Honestly.
I didn't really, to be honest. I was lucky because I was at the bottom of the away section, so I couldn't actually see much that was going on that side. So I just tried to just meditate my way through the last 15 minutes.
Boys, what were you like? Is the defensive point of view there? Do you know it just kept coming, and he made the change. He put Josko onto left back, and then John Stones, Ruben Diaz are just sort of going, let's get hold of something. Let's try and get someone in and around it. But the amount of pressure, I mean, full credit to Fulham. It was an incredible second half of football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full credit to you as well, Brownie, on guns.
No, we were just saying that Fulham had nothing to lose and everything to gain. So it's quite hard to manage them games because they're staying in advanced positions when we're in possession. So then when the transition comes, when you sort of like counter the counter, we're wide open again. And it's down to Fulham and the way they played. What we needed to do was get 6, 7, 8, 9. But every time we got the ball back, it broke down, and then and they were at us again. It was.
We were saying about Nico Gonzalez going off, said rest him up. He's very important to the team now. The way we play, and then suddenly he went off. You're like, oh my goodness, get him back on, quick.
Right, you two talk.
There's something wrong when the defenders are saying 8 and 9, isn't there? Hey, there's something wrong there.
Right, you two talk for a minute and give me 30 seconds to catch my breath.
Yeah, you catch your breath after that. I mean, listen, Brownie, I mean, I don't know how we can even unpick that. I'd like to go back and actually enjoy it knowing that we've won the game. From a neutral's perspective, it was fantastic. From a Fulham's perspective, I think they'll be happy. From a City perspective, we're very happy. We scored 5 goals away from home. I'd rather that over 1-0.
Well, yeah, for sure, if you come on the end of winning. But I think the concern will be for Pep is going, well, why did we not control? Why was there so many goals conceded, chances? But give Fulham the credit. They'll go away and said, look at what we've just done. A great recovery. They take the plus points. For the neutral sat at home, the popcorn's going absolutely everywhere. I know. So, you know, like an insane second half of football. They come out to have a go. We caught them on the counter. A bit of everything. We just had a chat with Phil Foden, didn't we, just before, about him scoring, him coming back to his best, getting involved in games. And and being in and around everything. So there's real plus points. Erling Haaland, that 100 goal, we've seen him getting interviewed just to our right-hand side. What a moment that we were there. So not only did we have all the goals and all the drama, we had some special things as well. Do you know what? When it was just speaking to Fulham fans here, that is what Premier League's about, isn't it? Do you know when you're getting your money's worth? It was amazing.
Yeah, not again, Brownie. We've done it once for the season now. I mean, look, congratulations for commentating on that as well as you always do. One thing that I'll end on is Phil Foden. Yeah, we were lucky enough to speak to him, and he's back smiling. He's enjoying his football. He's showing it on the pitch. Yeah, I just hope next time we don't do that again, because I'm a bit like that in the studio, and I'm a bit like, oh.
Bring them on. It's
yeah,
great.
well, I mean, on to the next one, but yeah, 3 points for City here at Craven Cottage. Thank you for joining the coverage here at Craven Cottage. Brownie, thank you for your excellent work, and thank you to you guys in the studio. I hope you're all right, Nat.
I'm really not, FG. I'm really not. But thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Get home safely, guys. Drive safe. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I've tried to compose myself for a minute and tried to remember what happened in the second half, but I think the guys summed it up so well there. So much happened in this game, so many incredible moments. You know, we forget Erling Haaland's 100th goal in the first half as well, 100th Premier League goal, and Phil Foden's incredible finishes. Let's try and keep talking through the goals for the second half. So we were up to 5-1. Now, it was a little bit careless from Fulham at the back. Jeremy Doku won the ball back. They were kind of passing it and he crossed and he kind of came into the middle, won the ball back into the penalty box, into the penalty area, jinked the ball, shot the ball, it hit, I forget the Fulham player, and it went in. Sanderberger.
Yeah.
So, I don't, Ali, we think it's gone down as Doku?
Yeah. It's gone down as Doku's, but it's a huge deflection.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the trajectory might say that it was going back towards the goal.
He shaped it. He was shaping it, but it was way past the post.
I think so, Kit, yeah.
Initially. The BBC shows Sanderberg own goal still, so we don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But 5-1, game over.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, it was. We knew it would be 5-4.
I mean, genuinely, at 5-1, we were in absolute cruise control.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, yes, this is City of old, this is lovely, thank goodness, let's, have a lovely night.
Yeah.
What changed? What happened?
I think, credit to Fulham for going all out, and leaving players, leaving 4 players high to pin us back in, and then hoping that they do get, the turnover of possession, and then they've got players in advanced positions. But you need a little bit of element of luck, Natalie, and they did. We're unable to see the goals back, but there was a few deflections that fell perfectly. Iwobi's finish is brilliant.
The second Fulham goal was excellent.
Yeah, it's outside the post. To beat Donnarumma, we were saying if he's beaten him from 22 yards, then it must have started outside the post. We then saw it, and it's 3 yards outside, and then it's come back inside. Great finish.
So that was 5-2.
Yeah.
So he could have then made it 6-2, but Erling
post with a header.
Post,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
At that point, we're
it climbs above Session, brilliant bullet header on the inside of the post. That can come and hit Leno and go in, and anything happen. It didn't, but the momentum's still there. And then it's just a couple of sloppy goals. That shots from the edge of the box,
almost identical. Really, when it's the edge of the box was the weakness. I mean, both good goals from a Fulham point of view. Again, Chuck Weezy almost identical strikes.
Yeah. But the ball, I tell you, the bit of luck there, because the balls like came to him. It's sitting up.
Bernardo wasn't one of them. I think was it?
Yeah, it was Bernardo.
Yeah.
And then the punch from
Donnarumma.
Donnarumma, and it fell perfectly, to him on the stride, and it's actually gone through like 7 bodies.
Yeah.
And the chances of that happening are few and far between. But again, I think we go away from that. And I think we look at it, and we do look at the edge of the box on corners, because I think it is a vulnerable position. Although the stats do say they're so small for getting shots off from that second phase, and it was similar. It was the second phase for the first goal at the end of the first half, where we won the ball and we could really put it into the stand. We try to carry it out, do win the turnover of possession. Nunes ends up in the left back position, and it's all scruffy. So there's still lots and lots to improve, which I think we were all aware of coming into the game. With the way form has been, where we've looked really well, Liverpool, and we slightly off it again, and then we've got the last 2 results over the line. But I do think they go away, and I do think there's still so much to improve on, and I think we've got the personnel to improve, and I think we've got the coaching staff and the manager to make sure that we can learn from them. The best lessons are always learnt when you've got a victory. and you go away from it, and and that tonight will hold us in good.
I mean, there is a vulnerability there. We saw the weekend. We saw again tonight. I mean, some of the forward play is fantastic. You got to say, it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But there is a vulnerability. We sort of know that. That's. We're not. City are not back to where they were. They won't be. This is a new team now. A new
vulnerability
team
wouldn't be there if we were a back four and we had 2 6s. We wouldn't be that wide open, but we wouldn't do what we do. We've scored. We scored 5 tonight, and it could be 8, 9, 10. On Saturday, it could be 7, 8 goals. We're never going to be able to produce that kind of football. Yeah. If we are a solid four with our fullbacks tucked in, and we've got 2 6s that protect the 2 centre halves, we won't be wide open. But you won't get the entertainment that Pep Guardiola's teams give you. And tonight, again, whatever said and done, it's a thoroughly entertaining football. It's one that's really a Sunday afternoon, a 4:30 kickoff that the whole world could see that tonight, because it was a fabulous example of Premier League football.
We said at the end, we're going into the last minute of 8 added on. I'm like, there's going to be a chance. There's going to be another chance. I don't know which end. There's always a chance for someone. And it came for Fulham, flashed across the basic goal.
Cleared off
Josko, exactly. It could have been 5 so easily.
What a clearance off the line
brilliant,
from him.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big positive we take from it. The fight from City, they kept going. The Vardiol clearance, everybody was putting their bodies on the line in those last few minutes as well. So that's a big positive.
Absolutely. Yeah, without doubt. Yeah.
Looking at the table, so from your point exactly, Andy, in terms of defensively, we've now conceded 16 goals this season, 6 in 2 games. Arsenal have conceded 7 all season.
Yeah.
But when you look at the attacking side of it, Arsenal have scored 25, whereas we've scored 32. We are so clear of anybody else in terms of goal scoring.
Yeah. Yeah, it is getting that. I mean, I think every management, every coaching staff, every team want to get the balance right, don't they? And for me personally, a boring 1-0 where they don't break into our half and we go home tonight and we go with that. But that's not what Pep Guardiola's teams are.
No, but a couple of weeks ago, the big problem was the onus on Erling Haaland to score all our goals. Yeah. The goals weren't coming from anywhere else. Well. Now Phil Foden's got 4 in 2, and other players are scoring.
Going into Saturday's game,
we needed to get goals.
Yeah.
I think there'll be 4 or 5 goals on Saturday. I do think we could score 4 or 5 goals again, and I haven't felt that way for a while.
I agree.
But we might concede 2 or 3 if the opposition, are clinical. And that's where we're at this moment in time. That's the phase that we're in, and that's what the manager and the coaching staff have to manage through this period now. We're going to create, but we are open. How do we get that balance right?
Because Pep loves control. That's his big thing, having control. And it's not at the moment. It's chaos. But brilliant. When you win the chaos and we're scoring so many goals, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, 5-4 is 3 points. But not great for the ticker, sort of. You know what I mean?
Not great for my emotions. No, not in the slightest. My least liked stat, in fact, a stat that I really dislike in football is XG. I'm not a fan of the XG. This XG for our game tonight, though, is hilarious. Would you like to have a guess what the XG is for tonight?
I'm going to go 3.8, 4.4.
So for us, 2.2. Right. And for Fulham, 0.9.
Never.
In a game that was 5-4.
Well, I think that if we can understand XG right, that's saying that they shouldn't score.
Quality of the chances.
The chance where it's gone through 8 bodies is normally 1% chance. So that's how that's worked out.
But then with Erling hitting the post twice as well for us, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they had 12 shots, we had 11. They had 6 on target, we had 4.
Wow.
So 1 goalkeeper save for Donnarumma.
Strange one, that, when you think we had 4 chances on, we had 4 shots on target, we scored 5.
Yeah.
A really strange game of football.
A really strange game of football. And I feel like when I sleep on it and I wake up, I'll think back and be thoroughly entertained and be thrilled. I think the panic at the moment is just the way that we, the weekend.
You'll wake up knowing we got 3 points now, and that's all that'll matter.
I think it's that the way that that Leeds came back on Saturday and the way that they've nearly come back. Well, they did. I think that's the worry for me. But it's your reassuring words, Andy, the fact that was 3 goals for Fulham that were just.
I think so. I do think there was an element of luck to all of them. And I think it's. The coach. There's a day off tomorrow. Where are we at? Wednesday. There's a recovery day Thursday. we're back in Friday, and then the coaching staff will be relentless now at looking at, how can we, the finer details, how can we stop these opportunities from the edge of the box? What are we getting wrong on the turnover that teams are getting down the side of us? And that's where they earn their money, and we will improve. We're in the early December, we will get better.
Okay, so City have got the 3 points. It did finish 5-4. Yes, you heard that right. There was 2 other Premier League games tonight. It was Bournemouth 0, Everton 1. That finished. That was a Jack Grealish goal there for Everton. And it's currently 76 minutes in Newcastle 1, Spurs 0. And that's a Bruno Guimaraes goal there for Newcastle. So tomorrow night, there is more fixtures. And of course, they finish on Thursday as well. So tomorrow night, the ones that you're looking for, Arsenal take on Brentford and Liverpool play Sunderland. And of course, we play Sunderland on Saturday. And Sunderland is quite a momentous fixture really in the history of Manchester City, because the last time we played Sunderland at home in the Premier League, it was Pep Guardiola's first game in charge of Manchester City. And think about the time that we have had since then. So Matchday Live will of course be with you. Kelly's in the studio, joined by Paul Dickoff and Andy Morrison, where I'm sure you will be very much talking about this game again, Andy. It's a double header as well. You can watch the PL2 game at 12 on City Plus, and then join us on Matchday Live for all the build-up up to the 3 o'clock kickoff. Now, of course, with Sunderland, we know that what an incredible season they are having. Promoted through the playoffs last year from the Championship. They're currently sitting in 6th. I mean, they've been in, we mentioned it before the game, but they've been an incredible prize package.
Yeah, they have. They've done really well. I mean, they have spent a bit of money, but they've also, I think, bought very wisely.
Recruited really well.
Recruited well and got the points on the board. I mean, I think they've got 7 players will be away for the AFCON, so that will be a miss for them going forward. But they've got the points on the board early part of the season and done incredibly well. I saw them at Chelsea a few weeks back, and they were worthy of the win. So they're a good side.
Especially at home, it's called Stadium of Light. It's the old football cliche that they become their 12th man, but they really do at that stadium. Away from home, not quite as strong this season, Andy, but you're still expecting a tough game on Saturday.
I am, but I'm expecting us to create 7 or 8 really good chances on Saturday. And if we're super clinical, when Foden and Haaland keep up the form that they're in, especially with their finishing, I think it'll be a difficult afternoon for Sunderland. They'll have to be at their very, very best. But I do feel we've conceded goals tonight and we can scale it as a weekend. But we are beginning to create so many opportunities in games. If we go back to Saturday's game, if we get those deflections that they got tonight and a bit of fortune with the shots that they blocked, we'd have been 5-0 up at half time. So there's so much positivity. The defensive side of the game, there's areas to improve, but there's so much to be positive about.
Okay. Good, thank you. I appreciate that. Lots to be positive about going into Saturday's game against Sunderland. By the way, Tottenham Hotspur have just equalised against Newcastle United. That's in the 78th minute now. That was a Christian Romero goal there for Spurs. Keep an eye out tomorrow, obviously, for the Arsenal score, but also Sunderland playing Liverpool. So we'll get an idea of the Sunderland team that we're going to face away from home for them on Saturday. So that is Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff at the Etihad Stadium. I need a day to recover and then I'll really look forward to the game, I think. But we did it. Andy Morrison, thank you very much for being here. Enjoy the game Saturday with Paul and Kel. Kit, thank you very much for your company and your analysis and everything tonight. We really appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for watching us on Matchday Live tonight. I hope I've been coherent for you in this last half an hour of the show, because I feel like I was going crazy watching that game. I really hope that nobody was filming that. No footage of that, please, because I think I did lose my mind. Now, of course, we are now on the 2nd of December, so don't forget that you can support City in the Community and the club's Christmas Together campaign by taking part in the City in the Community prize draw. Loads of prizes on offer in December, including a chance to watch the first team squad train, a mascot experience, plus tickets to see City v Wolves and signed shirts from the likes of Erling Haaland. And that's not it all. If you sign up now, then you can double your chances to win, whilst the club will also double your donation. So mancity.com/prize draw to take part, and visit mancity.com/Christmas Together for more information about the campaign. So happy 2nd of December as we go into this mad Christmas period. City sit just 2 points behind Arsenal in the Premier League after what could go down as the most entertaining game of the Premier League season. Thank you very much for your company. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Merry Christmas. Join the CITC prize draw.
Every pound supports City onside.
Let's see what you can win in the CITC prize draw.
Match tickets, not bad.
Blue carpet. What's your team training?
Time football. It's a wobbly wheel.
It's nice.
Merry Christmas.